Dan Brunners, former FBI special agent. Dan, good morning to you. Thank you for your time. You're hearing
Morning,
that
Bill.
numerous things are happening right now in Mexico. Tell us what you've learned.
Well, I'm talking to a lot of people, a lot of my sources on the ground in Mexico, and it's essentially pure chaos. As you can see from the images there's burning, there's rioting, there's attacks. I mean, it is all-out warfare in certain parts of Mexico, and it's quite concerning. And in certain cities, there's zero public transportation. CJNG and all the affiliates have threatened all bus drivers and all taxi drivers that if they're moving their vehicles around, they will be shot and killed. There's videos out there of taxis being overtaken and just open warfare on the streets. So it's extremely concerning that we're seeing this, and this is what it is right on the brink of possible civil war, because there are so many different factions under CJNG. CJNG isn't necessarily just a group, it is more of an umbrella of a conglomerate of numerous smaller cartels. Now, each one of these cartels, with El Mencho being taken out, all these leaders of these smaller cartels are all going to try and vie for that top dog spot, and they're going to fight, and they're going to utilize all their weapons. And your previous guest has said it. This was a small army, and each of these have weapons grade, battlefield weaponry, straight from Ukraine training. So it's quite concerning.
Wow. I read that he was protected by soldiers who carried RPGs. Not soldiers, really, but the men who protected him. El Chapo was 9 or 10 years ago, arrested in 2016, brought to New York City in 2017. Here's what the president of Mexico said. She said, "There is absolute coordination with the governments of all states. We must remain informed and calm. We work every day for peace, security, justice, and the well-being of Mexico." Just based on what Jillian's reporting, what service could we have provided the Mexican military?
It's excellent, because I directly worked in operations like this while I was with Joint Task Force Vulcan and chasing MS-13 members in Mexico. So I know very directly firsthand of providing intelligence to the Mexican authorities and letting them conduct the event, the attack. And this was absolutely pinpoint right on there. And U.S. intelligence providing whether it be source intelligence or signals intelligence, and providing them all the information, the targeting data, locations, letting them execute the operation, because that's important, letting the Mexican authorities execute the operation. And here you can see this. And from what you hear, El Mencho was put on a helicopter and died en route. So which means that they successfully were able to extract him somewhat alive but wounded, and he died en route. So it's an overall excellent operation by Mexican authorities. It's supported by U.S. intelligence services, whether it be DOD or FBI resources, which are embedded there in Mexican.
Let me share this with our viewers. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, referred to as New Gen, I do believe, right? U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization, 15 to 20,000 members. That's a lot, believe it.
This is crazy, guys. Jalisco, Mexico is really under siege right now. I will see buses being blown up, the airports being attacked. There's the president of Mexico cannot defend what's really happening in Mexico right now, man. The big boss has been taken out, and on his way out of there, he was assassinated. He died. He was wounded and died on the way out. So now all these factions under him are now open vying for that spot. The vying become the big dog in the spot. So now chaos has assumed the streets of Mexico, and we've seen what's happened all over the area of Mexico. Do you guys agree with this or not? I'll say no, but look what's happening. They got Jalisco New Generation Cartel that's made up of over 15 to 20,000 members, believed to make over $1 billion annually, key supply fentanyl to the U.S., considered one of the most significant threats to U.S. health, safety, and security. It's designated a foreign terrorist organization, specially designed global terrorists. They got networks all over the world. They got connections already to get their product to America, one way or the other. If they don't get the product, I can imagine they were saying ones coming through Canada on boats, everywhere, under the ground, in the air. They're going to make it happen. This is a very high-profile organization. Now, the boss of a previous organization, probably bigger than this, has just passed. So now these organizations are vying for that headship, that leadership, that position, that spot, man. You guys understand that spot is really coveted. So all these fashions out there are fighting in Mexico, man. It's crazy. It's a war torn out there now. To be the truth and what they're showing in the media and videos are showing all over, people can't. The normal process of life in Mexico and cities across and states across the Union of Mexico is under siege right now with violent actions by different fashion groups trying to vie for that position. What is your opinion? What do you think? Do you think it's going to work out? Do you think the president of Mexico will ask for support from the U.S. or Canada or other nations? Do you think it's going to be brought into? Man, think about it, guys. I just had to stop and say, wow. When you go into an airport and you make that much damage around the airport and you're killing people, this is crazy. This is no, hey, but this is happening right now, presently as we speak. I think they're gonna need some support down there eventually. If not, because they're not. These fashion groups are not gonna give up until they get that position, until they're recognized as the big boss, and then things start simmering down. Once everybody start recognizing as the big boss, they got weapons on war, soldier level weapons, and they at each other. These groups are not playing, bro. They're at each other. They're trying to control billions of dollars of networks. You understand? And they want to be on top of that network. It's going down, man. It's heavyweight. It's moving around in Mexico. It's moving, and they're not playing. Everybody's for big stakes now. And us out here, civilians, and we don't know the degree, but now through the media and through the networks, through the information, through different organizations, government organizations put information out for the public to see, we're seeing what's happening over there in real time. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to slow up or continue moving forward with this massive attack on each other, trying to vie for? It's like gangs somebody trying to become the big dog. It's rivalries, man. And Mexico ain't no joke. If Mexico is tough in America, if Mexican groups are tough in America, what do you think is in Mexico? That's the motherland. That's the original space. Do you think they're playing? No, these people are sincere. They're sincere about that position. It's coveted. This one group is $1 billion annually? Come on, bro. These people are sincere, and they're playing for keeps, and they got top weaponry to really sustain their fight. So what do you think? Is it going to be over? Or just beginning? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Let's continue watching this video and find out what's happening.
Taken billions of dollars, key supplier of fentanyl to the U.S., considered one of the more significant threats to U.S. health, safety, and security. There are 37 cartel leaders, and you were just describing how the worst case scenario could be happening for Mexico. Why would you say that? And can you answer the question, what happens next?
Well, what happens next is really crucial, and it's going to be, we're going to see in the next few days. So each one of these smaller cartel members are not only going to want to vie for that top dog spot, but also what's concerning is that, intel suggests that a lot of these are going to want to get weapons, more weapons to prepare for more battle amongst their own cartels, amongst their fellow cartels, and a small civil war amongst them. And unfortunately, the Mexican people will be caught in the crossfire, which means that there could be an uptick in drug trafficking coming north to be able to, support these battles, for them to purchase weapons, additional weaponry, additional drones for them to fight them. So it is definitely concerning.
All right, just one thing I would add, a lot of Americans go to Puerto Vallarta in the area of Jalisco. They may be watching us right now from their hotels. About 30 minutes ago, the president of Mexico said flights could continue later today on Monday into Tuesday. So we hope that is the schedule if they need to get out. Dan, thanks for your time. Appreciate the insight. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno.
It's really going down, guys. The flights have been canceled in Mexico. People are staying at the airports. They tell them to stay in their hotels. It's really, it's really a problem right now in Mexico. What's going on? So yeah, people are feeling kind of on the siege. They want to get out. Canadians, Americans, people, tourists to Mexico. Mexico is a very tourist spot, especially in the wintertime of the season. They get a lot of money from tourists, just like Cuba. So a lot of people are really under the pressure, man. Just uh, really seeing what's going on. And what do you think, man? You think the 37 cartel, little big bosses, or they can under the regime of the Mexican cartels? What they? I'm just talking about me. I don't know. They are vying for these critical spots in the leadership, the rankings, high rankings of the cartel, and somebody got to be the boss of bosses, and everybody's trying to vie for that. 37 cartel leaders are trying to vie for that one coveted space to be the boss of bosses. So I don't know what's going on. You think it's going to be over? You think it's not? But I think it's going to be a lot of more misunderstandings and a lot of more, how we say in America, a lot of more furniture moving around the house. Because Mexico, them cartels don't play. Them leaders are sincere about their actions. And man, I'm a citizen. I don't want to be around nowhere near that. Because these guys are sincere and they're focused on what they're doing. And I don't think it's over. I think there's that spot. 37 group leaders, they're not going to stop. They're like, okay, they're going to be vying for that spot. And you know what that means by vying for that spot. What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. It's sad to just come to this, but just the reality of what happened in them type of organizations and groupings, but it's spilled over into civilian life to our world. And we're like, we don't know what's going on, and we're citizens. We don't have a gun. They said it was killing police officers in Mexico, and I'm like, wow. People ask where the police. They're like, they're dead. They're out there laying on their trucks and stuff. I'm like, what? I would never leave the hotel because I read some articles and when I was in college about the cartels in Mexico, and they were talking about some of the cartels had interest in resorts, kind of like Las Vegas when the mafia had interest in some of the old Vegas casinos. So the same thing in Mexico. The cartels probably had interest in these resorts, and they're getting money off them. And they're like, "Hey, don't touch that resort. That's our property." And so that's probably be the safest way to be under the rule of a cartel, man. Hey, because they're like, "Hey, leave that alone, there, buddy. Leave that alone. That's our money." And while you're in there paying their money and spending the resort's dollars, they're getting paid. And they're like, man, leave them people alone. Them good people for us. So I stay in my resort because I know I'm protected by a cartel or something, Sad to say, but that's a possibility. And till you're able to get out, to the government step in and make a way till you get to the airport safely, I stay under that protection because they sincere about their livelihood. So and they say when you're in Rome, do what the Romans do. You know what I mean? So what do you think? What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. But this is getting serious. I didn't know they was killing Mexican police officers, and I'm like, if they're killing the police officers, it's a war. And then I heard about the airport. I was like, what? International airport? Then now you mess with the Mexican government at the big level, because that's international. Now you mess with the government, citizens of other countries. You really don't care. Now you call in the world. You understand? But Mexico got to control that. The government got to control that, or it got to tell the world that it can't control this territory. And that's when the breakdown of the sovereignty of that nation would come to a hold. So then other nations got to come in and get their citizens. And the possibility, I don't know the process, but that's what it would look like. If I'm a powerful country and my citizens in there, and you reckon I'm sending some of my boys in there to get my people out of there, and yeah, we come in there. You will not touch one of my people. If I'm the government of another nation, and I'm coming full force, then I don't care, because now You're messing with my citizenry. You mess with my people, my entity, my sovereignty. These are my citizens, and you don't do that. But it seems like they don't care, and it's official. But let's see what's going on. What's your opinion? That's what it appears to me. I think it's not going to be over, not that soon. I think it's just happening now, and now officially the cartel leader has expired on his way to jail or something, and now the system is open to another leader. So, hey, buddy, who's going to be? What you guys leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification. Let me know. Like the video. What do you think about the Mexican drug laws killing and what door it opened up to the cartels? 37 cartel leaders going at it for the boss of boss position. Hey, here we go.